So sometimes the conversations that we're having in this current reality are difficult to have with other people. So if you're listening to us and you like what you're hearing and you want to share this with your friends and family, like and share. That way you don't have to have the conversation. We'll be your surrogates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember what she just said? Like and share.
So back to our conversation, one of the things that's really curious about this whole situation is the fact that it seems very scripted from the corporate media. And when I like to make the distinction between the corporate media, which is, I call it the legacy media, the one that the iHearts and the Reuters and AP Press and all of that, but it just seems like very, very scripted because you have it on all the platforms saying the same thing. And then there's the media, the real media like us, that are sharing the concerns, the true concerns of citizens, normal citizens like moms and the bread and butter of this country.
Well, I think people have a lot of questions, and questions that are not being answered because they are being filtered and stopped through the corporate media because they only want to get out what they want you to hear. Normally, it's all about, take away the guns and all that kind of stuff. Now it's a total different narrative right now, which I find fascinating, that they're moving their words around and they're talking about this girl, and she's a woman, actually. She was 28 years old. But it brings up so many questions
of what is really happening.
What has happened, right? So I think we've talked before is, first of all, where did she come from, right? She's got her parents, that, and we do, again, our hearts are just so burdened and broken for the 6 families that are really touched by this, and their friends and the schools and the kids of the friends that they're not going to have anymore. But so we pray for them, but we also pray for the parents of this woman who chose to go down this road and murder these 6, people. And she definitely is there's some mental illness there, because you don't go, it doesn't matter, it's not about guns, because guns don't kill people. That's the bottom line, because otherwise pencils would make you make a mistake and forks would make you fat. I mean, let's just be real. This is called common sense.
Yes.
And here at Women Impacting the Nation on our podcast, we like to ask questions. It's just asking questions. We're stirring the pot and getting people to think. And we are okay with you agreeing to disagree with us, but we're going to touch on a lot of subjects that you don't want to, maybe you don't agree with, but we're just asking the questions. So where did she get the guns, right? Mm-hmm. Where were her parents? How did she get in? And why is the media perpetrating and putting on a pedestal a woman that is confused about who she is, that took guns? She had 6 guns, 7 guns, whatever it was, and went into a school and murdered these children. And this will go off onto another tangent here, but if the left, and this is all propaganda and all, but if the left is so concerned about children, why aren't they talking about the children that died? But they don't. They talk about the woman that's confused. The
left is concerned about the children when it's convenient for them to be concerned.
Okay, yeah.
So that's not a question, that's a statement.
Okay.
And the other question that I have, again, when you think about who is doing this at a corporate level and why these agendas, at this point, I would like someone to answer if there is or if there is not a depopulation agenda. Because that...
Oh, Debbie,
nothing.
you are being a conspirator. You're being conspiratorial.
Prove it to me. And at this point, when I look at everything that's happening in this country, there is nothing being done that affirms children, that affirms the unity of a family, that affirms the people.
Well, isn't that done because this is a total, this is planned. It's all the Saul Alinsky tactic. You're going to hear us talk about Saul Alinsky a lot because you need to read Rules for Radicals. It is vital. And they have 53 ways how they're going to take down America.
And it's a playbook.
And so when in those 53 ways they're going to take down America, 5 are already being done. They're trying to take God out. Forget the schools. The schools are totally down. Now they're trying to take away the churches. Now they're trying to take guns, right? The First Amendment, Second Amendment. You don't want to take away the Second Amendment because the Second Amendment takes away your First Amendment, right? And that's what they're trying to do is take down America.
That is so important because the reality is that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that what is happening on a global scale is that there is this plutocracy that wants to take control of the globe through the legal means or the window dressings of having world governments. Mm-hmm. But there's something that is standing in the way, and that is a tattered piece of paper called the American Constitution. Mm-hmm. And that is being eroded little by little. We have a lot of those rights already eroded with the Patriot Act and the Smith-Month Act. And all of those things, we as Americans need to have these repealed because that's how they're chipping away at our freedoms to where we find ourselves today.
And isn't it interesting how we started off with this being a very sad week because of this, because of this shooting, this murder, and then how it is so, everything is like it's una, in Spanish it's called una red. It's like a little spider, it's like a web, and it just goes off on different tangents, but it's all done related on purpose. It's all related. And you talk about plutocracy, where everybody talks about, nowadays you hear democracy, 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 democracy. Why is that? Even Tucker Carlson, all the people that some people like, listen to what they say, and words matter. We are still a constitutional republic, but we are being taken down from within. It's not from the Russians and the Chinese and the Iranians and the Ukrainians and all this kind of stuff. It's done from within. And if we, the American people, the silent majority, mind you, if we would just wake up and talk about common sense, read Thomas Paine's book, Common Sense, right? It's like that's like being done and dead, and there's no common sense anymore. But common sense is there's male and female. Common sense, there's right and wrong. There is no, let's just do black and no, it's black and white, right and wrong. Everybody knows it innately. And, but look at how it's just all being dissolved. Well, this is not something that just has happened. We're just waking up to it because you cannot help but see it. Because it became personal. It's becoming personal to each of us.
It's actually touching everybody right now. But this is something that has been the erosion started decades ago. Probably, I think most
50, 60 years ago at least.
Well, with President Kennedy's murder. At that point, there's so many things that don't make sense, but the propaganda machine was already calling it something that it wasn't. And take a deep dive into that. It's very curious.
But it's all about words matter though too. Yes. And we want to come back to words matter because that's what happens is the media comes up with a word, and then it sounds good, and we just kind of go ahead and just go into it. So why don't we we're going to come right back, and we're going to be talking about words matter.